Hey folks, this is Vagrant. Welcome back to the Thaumaturge. In the last video, we got ourselves both the Jinn and
This is an outrage.
It's an outrage.
Calm down. We can sort it out.
You can't tell me what to do.
Anyways, we got the Jinn and we also got
is an
Oh,
outrage.
shut up. We also got Morana. And then we
can sort
came
it out.
to the Flying
You can't tell me
University
what to do.
for a lovely little lecture and some donuts. And now, apparently, it's all kicking off. So let's go find out why, I suppose. Hello.
This is an outrage.
I get that.
Calm
Do
an
not
outrage,
tell me
guys.
what to do. It is definitely the time to be nervous.
I'm just saying we can look together. It might be a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? It's a theft. You! I bet you did it.
I'd suggest you weigh your words. I don't like being called a thief.
Are you threatening me? Do you know what happened? What emotions I need to cope with? The first edition of A Nation Tale is gone. My beloved game exposed to sunshine. Master, greasy fingers.
Oh, what a horrible tragedy.
You can't treat me like that. Nobody leaves this place. Either I get my book back or I'm calling the police.
What do you mean? I can't stay here any longer.
Antoni, do not threaten my students.
They are not students. They're animals.
Mr. Shulsky can find your book.
Yes, I can do that.
Really? And then can you bring eternal misery upon the thief?
Of course. What is it exactly that you want?
I want him to get blotches on the soles of his feet.
Done.
Good heavens.
Mr. Shulsky, please, stop joking.
Who's joking?
I'd be grateful if you could find the book.
Oh, well, it's a bottle episode. Okay, this is a case of theft. The most valuable of the antiquarian's volumes have disappeared. The owner has closed off the premises and is threatening to call the police unless his lost property is quickly found. Let us investigate. Broken cup. The china was dropped by careless hands, with careless whispers, splashing tree tea across the floor. Pieces of china tremble like a heart gripped by fear. You can hear the quiet trepidation about the torn pages, the stained cover, and the cracked spine of this small miracle that Bavanas simply call a book. A miracle that has been stolen and may never be recovered, ever. Trace unknown, here we go. The thief's feelings are reflected in the clear glass of the display case, like the carelessness of a clown and the excitement of a rope dancer before his first step into the void. Feelings sparkle with lightheartedness and conscience as clean as freshly laundered linens. After all, everything is just an innocent prank. Hello, Polina.
I was instructed to become acquainted with your lot. Viktor Shulsky, nice to meet you.
I don't know if talking to me is the best choice.
Oh,
Polina Nikolaevna Gavrilov.
Seems you're not very popular among your colleagues.
it's a bit rude.
What did I tell you? That I cast spells to make their pants leak and their ties run?
Why don't they like you?
Because I'm Russian, and every Ruski is an enemy, right?
My mother is Russian, so my perspective is different.
I understand the political situation. I was born in Warsaw. I love this city.
If she was born in Warsaw, I don't think she's Russian. It's a really interesting thing because there's a lot of... Right, so at the moment, we've got this whole thing in England. It's the most ridiculous controversy in human history, but basically the England football kit has like a little cross, the St. George's cross, the England flag, on the back of the neck. Now, it usually isn't even on the kit, the St. George's cross. It's usually not even there, but they added it and they put it in some different colours. And people have decided this is some big left-wing LGBTQ movement. And it's not. It's nothing to do with it. It's just some colours on a flag. And obviously anything that's a colour is now part of a pride movement. And people are up in arms in it. And I could go on for a very long time about how utterly fucking ridiculous that is as a perspective. For myriad reasons, but that's not what we're here for. But in turn, right-wing rhetoric and racism has kind of increased. And I've seen a lot of people talking in that way. And one of the common things I see is this idea of sort of ethnicity versus race, I guess, in a way. Like some Indian guy posted saying, it's funny enough, there's this Indian guy who posted, and he was on the side of the people annoyed. He was like, this is our flag. You know, he was obviously born in England. It's like, this is our flag, this is our country. They shouldn't change the flag. He has a stupid opinion, but that's not the point. He was posting in defense of what these right-wingers also think. And then, of course, he got lots of comments supporting him, but he also got lots of comments saying, you're not even from here. You know, just because you're born in England doesn't make you English. The idea that ethnically he was Indian rather than English, even though he was born in England. And I really never see it like that. I think if you are born, unless you're like born on a lay-by or something like that, even then, let's say your parents were pregnant, well, probably just your mum, and you stopped off in Colombia on a flight for some cocaine, and your mum gave birth, and then you left 5 minutes later, I still think you're Colombian. You might not ethnically be Colombian, but that is your birthplace, and that has to have meaning, right? It does to me, anyway. Now, whether you want to make that an important part of your personality is another kettle of fish, but I think technically you're Colombian. You may have heritage and genealogy, etc., from other places, but you're still Colombian. Anyways.
Who do you think is behind stealing that book?
I can't believe that it might be one of us. After all, we all love books.
Seems like a good reason
That
to steal
sounds
one.
like the perfect motive.
Exactly.
Indeed. If I were to steal, I would rob antiquarian bookshops. But it wasn't me.
Why did you decide to go to the university?
I don't want to waste my intellect on throwing parties and picking the perfect hat.
And what do you want?
To study law at the Sorbonne. You think it's funny?
No, it's just that my mother wanted me to study law in Paris. But I preferred to travel.
My mother keeps trying to talk me into traveling. Apparently, that's the way to find a husband.
I'll be off
I'm
now.
not sure about that.
Can I help you?
Do you have any suspicions regarding the stolen volume?
I don't believe any of the students could do it. It must be a misunderstanding. I hope you manage to get to the bottom of it.
Me too, buddy.
Tell me about Ligia's studies.
Your sister has an
already,
extraordinary
didn't we?
mind. She's one of our most gifted graduates, and I
can't
hope
skip
she'll
it.
join our teaching staff after this lecture. Her arguments are bold and accurate, untainted by social restraints. Oh, and her charisma.
Indeed, you are impressed.
Is there anything else you...
Oh, it's pressing the wrong button, that's why.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have a little poke around. It's just a book, man. I mean, look, if someone stole my book, I'd be annoyed as well. It's funny, I've just been rewatching Community, because it's my beloved, and there's an episode where Annie thinks they're stealing her pen, so they kind of lock themselves in and have a bottle episode about stealing the pen. Well, about a million other things. Lockpick in a flower pot. Lockpick is in good condition. Whoever used it knew how to handle it. Lockpick is covered with blots of feverish thoughts. Sloppy as a child's handwriting. There's no time. Someone could see, point the finger, catch him in the act, catch the thief. The flower pot was close and seemed a reasonable solution. Almost. Ligia, any thoughts on thievery?
What's up, Sherlock? Mystery solved?
You're as happy as a child on Christmas Day.
I like to watch you do something with passion.
Who do you think could have taken the book?
I have no idea. But I'm sure you'll be fine.
You're way too enthusiastic. How many sweets have you had?
Don't even ask.
I'll be off now.
It's eerily similar to the kind of conversation I would have with my sister, except I am unfortunately not a thaumaturge.
You don't understand. I want to leave.
And I want my volume to be in my display case. Maybe you're the one who has it.
I'm not a thief, and I don't have to explain myself.
Why do you want to leave right now?
I told my parents I was going to church. If I'm not back on time, they'll start to look for me, and I'll be in trouble. Please help me.
You can help by searching this young lady.
I know subtler ways. Could you give me a personal item, please? No, she's not the one who stole the book. The trace doesn't match.
How do you know?
That's what I do, man. Argument at the door. The student didn't steal the volume. The trace on her powder box is velvety and tastes of iron, as if an unbreakable character was hidden beneath the delicate beauty, completely incompatible with the one imprinted on the lockpick.
There's no trace of the thief on this item. That lady did not steal the book.
I see. I can't open the door, but I can help you with your parents. I know what it's like when your loved ones don't understand your passion for books.
I see. Thank you for your help.
Mr. Szulski, there are guest coats in the wardrobe. I will let you in there if it helps you to catch that degenerate.
That might be helpful.
Then follow me, please.
Sure. I'm trying to do things at the same time. It's very awkward. Come on, Samuel. Oh, you're Samuel. Never mind. I really can't do this one-handed. Okay. Aha. Done. Men's coat, dowdy and worn. The coat's pocket is full of worries pushed away out of thought's reach. They're grey and dull, like the lockpick found in the flower pot. They whisper of the punishment that will befall the son for taking his father's locksmithing tools, about the consequences of a prank that will turn into trouble. Elegant woman's coat. An elegant coat boasts above others like a flower among the weeds. It radiates red pride, spreads the scent of splendor, and tempts with the taste of sweetness. Only a small thread at the collar trembles with uncertainty. Will the effort be noticed by the one for whom it was made? Is that me? I feel like that's me. Where's all my XP gone? A large women's coat. Probably gone to Luglegia. The fibers of the coat spin and weave into an intricate embroidery of sorrow and bitterness. The accusation of an affair weighs down the fabric and creates deep wrinkles on its surface. The explanation disappears like a soap bubble. She cannot confess. The university must remain a secret.
And? Have you found anything?
Mothballs.
Maybe, although I still need some information.
Well, what are you waiting for? Fire away!
The large coat belongs to Miss Lucrezia, I presume. The one with the satin lining?
Yeah, no doubt. But I don't know why you're wasting your time on these.
I found a men's coat in the wardrobe. One with embroidered initials and wooden buttons. Do you remember who it belongs to?
With a worn-out collar and elbow patches? That's Waldemar's coat,
You have good memory.
which you are using in a ridiculous way.
Trying to
Why
help.
don't you look for the degenerate?
I am looking for the
Thank you.
degenerate.
That was very helpful.
I will wait for the results then.
It's a rude man. Do not court such attitudes. The antiquarian is convinced that the worn coat belongs to Valdemar. Time to expose the thief. Valdemar, who stole the volume. He had no trouble opening the display case. Being the son of a locksmith, he knows his way around locks. However, it seems his intentions weren't entirely bad. He thought the theft would be an innocent prank, and ended up causing quite a commotion. Where is he? Let me at him.
A grey coat with embroidered initials and wooden buttons. It belongs to you, doesn't it?
Why do you ask?
I think it belongs to the thief.
What? No, I don't wear a coat.
It's September.
I like the coat, and that is not a crime. Leave me alone.
It's September, you fool. Valdemar claims he's not the thief, however the evidence leaves no doubt. I'm sure if I play it right, his thoughts will reveal his sins. There's something going on in here. Is it in that? It's in that. The bed. The bed reveals all sins. as it often does.
Here, I found your book.
Ooh.
And what's this?
Salutor? Valdemar hid the volume under the bed in the antiquarian's bedroom. The hiding spot leaves much to be desired. The volume is covered by a thin layer of gloomy thoughts that bind its covers like grey hoarfrost. It is the thief's trace, identical to the one on the coat and the lockpicks. There is no doubt Valdemar's the thief.
I hope you will find my little plot amusing. The city must recognize the power of thaumaturge. Enjoy your show. You have earned it. Cecilia. I should return the volume. The bookseller will finally calm down. And then I will have a talk with the author of this letter.
Interesting. Okay. A thought wanders across the note, playful as a young woman on a summer's eve. She considers all the scenarios, makes plans and selects tools, all to make the right impression on him. So did she work with him to get my attention, basically? Yeah, I found the volume. A letter fell out from it, written by Cecilia. The intrigue was planned, and I don't like to be a tool of other people's games. I should talk to her. I mean, maybe you don't like to be a tool in people's games. Maybe I do, though. You don't know.
Here is your volume.
You came back to me, safe and sound. Praise the Lord.
I hope it was all just a mistake.
No, it was planned.
That was obvious. How did you find the book?
The book was in the bedroom, under the bed.
What a captivating display of power. Shame there wasn't a missing sock there too. Now that would be a discovery.
Don't be sarcastic. It's the potential that matters.
What matters is who is responsible for that mess. Please, don't keep us in suspense.
I found the lockpicks that the thief used to open the display case. They were marked with this trace.
And that is how you determined his identity? What an exceptional display of thaumaturge.
As impressive as conjuring up ghosts at a seance.
I would like to see you say that to Madame Samira.
Of course you know each other. You both prey on people's gullibility.
Consider this a thaumaturgical display. Before you left the house, you had an argument with your husband. He thinks you are having an affair, while in reality, you sneak out to the university. Do you find that convincing?
How dare you? These are private matters and should not be discussed in public.
You asked for it.
He kind of did.
Both of you. Please tell us who took the book from the display case.
I'm building suspense, Samuel. I mean, did she deserve it? I don't know. Like, if I was in her shoes, I would probably doubt me as well. If someone turned up and said they can read intent and emotions and such from inanimate objects, I'd be like, well, can you really? And then if they... Okay, let me think about it. If I was in that situation and they revealed something personal about me, I'd probably be annoyed, but I'd probably be like, you know what, fair enough, I had that coming. Yeah, no, I'm okay.
The plot might not be too original, but it was certainly planned.
You might be missing the big picture.
The one responsible for stealing the book is Valdemar. He used his father's lockpicks and hid the book under the bed.
Valdemar? How could you?
What a disappointment.
Cecilia.
The boy stole the book at Cecilia's request. She talked him into it.
It's impossible. Valdemar?
It's true, Mr. President. Cecilia said it would be a joke.
Do you understand what kind of situation this puts me in? How this affects our reputation?
I'm sorry, but it was necessary. I had my reasons.
They're not good reasons. I don't think they're fantastic reasons.
An exquisite coat, an evening dress, an intrigue. You took a lot of trouble to impress me.
Did it work?
Yes.
Then it was worth it.
That's enough. Miss Cecilia, please explain yourself.
Nobody treats thaumaturge like a real science. I had to show its potential. Show what you're capable of.
That's enough! That is no excuse. I will talk to you in a minute. Leave us alone.
You know I was right.
I'm sorry you were used like that.
I've had a great time. If all the lectures are like this, I want to be a student.
I know what you mean. Cecilia's methods are disgraceful, but she does have a point. A lecture by a thaumaturge would enrich our academy. Please, consider it an offer.
I will think about it.
I've thought about it. I'm going to do it. Oh, well, we did it. Quest done. Good job, everyone. Right, yeah, quest done. Good job. So, moving on. What's this? Is this Cecilia, maybe? Samuel Dickstein is the president of the Flying University, a clandestine institution. Clandestine is one of my favourite words. Institution whose curriculum includes content and ideas that were banned in the Russian partition. Dickstein is a mathematician and an incredibly charming man who clearly cares about his students. On top of that, he proposed I give a lecture about thaumaturgy. My opinion of him continues to improve because he likes me, basically, like he approves of me. Right. Oh god, look at all this stuff that is gonna run out soon. I really don't like how this jumps around. It really annoys me. Okay, well, I want to focus on side quests first. Is this taking me to the tailor? Yeah, I think we found. You can't look. You're meant to be enlightened people. You can't talk about like banning the Russians. I kind of get it. The point is to. She was born in Warsaw. You know, the point is to hide away from the Russians. So letting the Russians in does feel a bit weird, but it's about. I mean, surely there's like Poles who side with the Russians in this, right? I'm sure we've seen them. We've seen plenty of Polish people who are on the side of the occupiers. It happens in Northern Ireland all the time. There was plenty of Northern Irish people who are like pro-Britain and pro-monarchy and stuff like that, even though they were essentially subjugated by the British. Anyways, invitation. I've had the honour of being a resident of Warsaw for 50 years and for more than 30 years of being a humble servant to all who hold music dear. Therefore, I cordially invite friends, students and listeners who have accompanied me during my career to a gala dinner next Friday at 8 PM at my apartment. During this Jubilee meeting, I'll show my most precious treasure, one which was used by Liszt himself. An elegant card placed in a sealed envelope. On Friday evening, a birthday dinner will be held for the pianist Jan Rogge, who will show off his greatest treasure. People are very loosey-goosey with their... Oh, look how many... Oh, there's a lot of... I just need to nip back and check these star things. People are very loosey-goosey with their, like, important documents. They just throw them around town like it's nothing, you know? It's very irresponsible. I think this is one I already checked, but I just want to go check these out. See if I'm missing it. Yeah, I already checked this one, didn't I? I swear I found the photo for this. I remember seeing it. And yet here we are. Also, what's going on here? Is this the church? You don't want to talk to me. With Isinger Advocar. What are you making that would be a choice? Like, those are two very different things. Unless Advocar means something else at this point in time. Advocar, from my perspective, is essentially eggnog, basically. It's what they call it in Eastern Europe. I only know that because I had a weird spell in college. Yeah, well, college, not university. I had a weird spell in college where I used to drink it all the time. I don't really have a clue why that was the case. But I used to drink it. I remember going camping and I would take just bottles of Advocar with me. Right, I'm 100% sure the Shulsky house is one that I had found, so I don't know what's going on with these star things. Anyways, to the tailor! Or to the inspiration for the tailor, because the tailor is not in Mirov. Because I'm the tailor! I think it's, you find a note that takes you to an inspirational brochure or something, then you go to the tailor. I think that's how it works. Well, yeah, I got really into it. It's like a creamy
What do you
yellow
want to tell me, friend?
alcohol, which I know doesn't sound fantastic. I'll go talk to Upi in a bit. I know it doesn't sound fantastic. And to be honest, it isn't. And I used to drink it like room temperature because obviously we didn't have a fridge or anything. Camping, we just took everything. My standards, you're that age, you just drink because it's alcoholic. You know, you don't really have a good reason to do the things that you do. The Fashion Review, July's issue, the July issue's lead story is the debate on boundaries in fashion by renowned Warsaw tailors Has and Malinowicz. When is wearing an extravagant item considered an expression of bold creativity? When does it defy good taste? Right, I've decided that these just don't work anymore. Hey, we dinglinged. Nice. So I guess we can start leveling these up now. I think it's the same video. Slack. Heart is still the most important one for me, so should level up priority. And now we have a triple for the first time. Although we don't actually have any triple upgrades. What do I want to put on this? Sure. I don't think it really matters. Like the amount of times I'm going to use that is exceptionally low. It really is really low. I feel like the combat slowed down a little bit. It wasn't that long ago where I felt like we were getting into fights every 4 seconds. And it's been a little while. Yeah, 26 minutes into this video, I've not beaten anyone up. Shocking, actually. Usually I'm leaving a trail of broken noses and concussions behind me. Much like in real life. All the way... I should have talked to Upia while I was there, really, but oh well. Nice little jaunt around the city. Because I'm the tailor. Oh, hello. List of errands. Colours, 3 pieces ink. Chalk, a whole package. Delivered to Mr. Wojcicki. No intended for servant. Seems in addition to everyday items, Valery Wojcicki will need chalk. Oh, we got a new quest. This is why you have to click all the time as you explore. There are quests just lying around waiting. Challenge for a duel, Mr. Wysoki. Wysoki? I'm a man of honour. Oh, that's from Wojcicki. I'm forced to demand satisfaction for the insult you have committed. However, as I'm a man of forbearance, I make the following proposal. Let us resolve the conflict as befits gentlemen. Tomorrow at 6 in the bar La Fourchette. You'd best arm yourself with a good bat. Letter containing information about the duel in the bar La Fourchette. You can resolve a conflict in a gentlemanly fashion, provided you have a good cue. Valery Wojcicki and his opponent made an evening appointment there for 6 p.m. Bill, oranges, 2 bushels, grapes, 1 bushel, French champagne, 30 bottles, candles, 45, duck meat, 2 kilos. Paid for Jean Rocky.
Hello, sweet secret.
Sweet secret. Okay, someone's preparing a lavish party. On September 15th at 8 p.m, a birthday dinner will be held for the pianist Jean Rocky at his apartment at 11 Poznań Street. To celebrate this occasion, all upper-class music lovers will be given an opportunity to admire his most precious treasure, a unique piano that was once owned by Franz Liszt. The Jubilee will allow his guests to play the instrument and experience for themselves the beauty of sounds it can produce. Botanical Handbook, How to Care for Exotic Plants. Book opened on the page dedicated to orchids. Book plate, Sofia Noteka. Oh. Complaint to the Watchman. Dear Mr. Jacente. Where's all this stuff coming from? It wasn't here a minute ago. We wanted to complain about the strange moaning that comes from apartment 7 every day between 4 and 7 p.m. Please do something about it. That's curious. Poster. Patisserie La Plume. Often visited by the most distinguished guests. I'm not reading those. Invite you to enjoy delicious buttermilk and other delicacies. Print out encouraging people to visit the La Plume Patisserie. Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Szulski, come in.
Mordian.
What's new?
I've got some fresh ideas for you.
Promising. But you can't keep wearing the same attire. Please, come back to me if you find more inspiration. Meanwhile, I shall attend to my work. Please, excuse me.
He's got a sailor tattoo.
I won't bother you.
All right.
Because he's the sailor and the tailor. Okay. Yeah, sure, I like that. I can rock that. I mean, we don't have to. We can mix and match a little bit. But I just like trying out the new stuff, so. I mean, it doesn't look any different from here, you know. Yeah, so once again, see, we don't have anything there. But the time is running out on that, so I'm worried I'm not going to find all the tailor stuff in time. I suspect I'm not. Right, so again, we should focus on... So we'll keep an eye out as we run around. That's all we can do, really. Let's go do these ones. It is side quest time, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need to head over to Provisla to learn about football. Football, crazy, chocolate, mad. Oh, what was it? What's the rest of the song? Football, crazy, chocolate, mad, buy something, something. You'll have football in your hand. It's something like that. Powerball. It was like some advert from the early 2000s. I think it was the 2002. When was the World Cup? New time of the AES meeting at 5 at the crossing of streets Bednarska and Ziemna.
Well.
Print out nailed to the trunk. An organisation called AES has changed the time of the meeting. Okay. Every day at the intersection of the streets, the Association of English Sports gathers those willing to learn a new sport very popular in the UK, the game of football. All you have to do is turn up at 5 PM. This is colonization happening. It's how we colonize the world, football. God, I miss football. It was the international break this week, so... Buy, sell, exchange, pawn loans, pledge anything. From dawn till dusk. It's just been the international break, which is fine, but I don't particularly enjoy international football compared to club football, so... Complaint, Mr. Cheslaw. I can no longer stand what is going on almost every afternoon under the windows of our 5A Warsaw street, where it used to be so quiet. Clattering, screaming, and banging on metal. Can't you hear it? Please do something about it as soon as possible. Maria Shipkona. No, we have to wait. I don't know till when.
It's getting sore. Stupid question.
It will be afternoon, right? I can't remember what time they said. I think it's the afternoon.
Kill some time.
You must not kill time, my child. You must seize it. Was it cherish it? I can't remember what the quote is. Is that from The Page Master? Has anyone else seen The Page Master, by the way? Most people have never heard of this film somehow, and it was a fundamental part of my childhood. I adore that film deeply. I might rewatch it, actually. I suspect it doesn't hold up. I remember I watched it with my ex years ago. In bed at we just woke up and decided to watch it whilst lying in bed, and she fell asleep after about half an hour, and I'm pretty sure that's what broke us up. Not everyone grasped the rules. I came home a little battered. I think I'll stick to billiards. Football. It's got a whistle. Oh, God, I must have killed kicking old footballs, which are just slabs of leather. Right, so I'm going to focus on these. It's going to be quite a low-key episode for the rest of it. And indeed, probably the next episode as well. We'll see how quick we can get through all this stuff. And then we... the benefit of getting this done is after this, we can kind of just focus on, you know, giving the main story as much momentum as it can possibly have. Which is why I tend to prioritize getting side quests done. Not only because they're going to run out, but because I think the more main quests you can do at once, the better the main quest tends to feel, rather than doing it piecemeal. I mean, you inevitably have to do it a little bit piecemeal, but still. Football, crazy, chocolate, mad. Is it a Powerball? I think it's a Powerball. Ooh, 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 ooh. What have we got here? Press advert. The house at 16 Street, large, well-maintained, well-lit. Viewing September 16th between 2 and 7. Owners, Sophia and Zbigniew.
Well, there we have it.
Rolled up newspaper with an ad column at the top. No techie house has been put up for sale. Can be viewed September 16th. Okay. Ah, Jan Noteki is a botanist who travels to South America, brings back various orchid specimens. His collection can be viewed September 16th between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. under the pretense of taking a tour of the house that's been put up for sale. Right. That's why. See, everything's got to be clandestine. Everything's got to be done in secret, lest the Russians find out. What's over here? Letter. Good, sir. I hope that your ailments have eased already. I've given up all pretense of pronouncing these names correctly. Mr. Stefania told me about them. If the poultices don't bring you relief, I want to recommend you seek the aid of my good acquaintance, Konstantin Jazinski. When you see him, don't judge him by his stature. This frail old man can bring a person back to health in a few hours. He lives at number 7.
Nothing can be kept secret from me.
Nothing can be kept secret from me. Message with advice for a suffering friend. Jan recommends Konstantin Jazinski, who lives at number 7, can set a man straight. Brutal therapy. Oh, of course, we heard about this. The therapy session. His massage therapist who's not gentle with his patients and able to cure them of various pains. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Classified. I make clothes, costumes and gowns in keeping with the latest designs I stocked up on in Paris. Polvelska, 15 Mozdolgorska Street. The Warsaw Music Society invites you to a concert at the Reduta Halls featuring Chibarowska, Glasfona, Mixed Choir. Schlod course for young people, J. Pruzhulski to Zaworsha Street. The supreme decree on the language of instruction in the kingdom's private schools was announced. Manifestations in Moravia's Brno. A well-known thaumaturge is dead. The body of Raymond Kinley was found near Tower Bridge. A mutiny broke out on the Austrian cruiser Panther. A meeting of Danish ministers on the candidacy of Prince Charles for the Norwegian throne was held in Copenhagen. Copenhagen. Are we looking for a bench? I think we're looking for a bench. Everything happens in the afternoon.
Let's wait until... So, let's kill some time.
It's 4 in the afternoon. Okay, let's go visit the botanist's collection. It's an interesting thing. Like, why would botany have to be sneaky? Why would this be something you would have to keep secret from people, you know? A botanical orchid collection from South America. Doesn't seem like the typical hide it from the Russians kind of thing, does it? The orchid's colours and the smell of other exotic plants brought in by Noteki, a piece of a tropical paradise in the gloomy, dreary Warsaw. Beautiful. Next. I want to hide these. Hopefully that lets me find out more about the telescope, of course. I remember hearing about this. Just piecing together all these little tales about Warsaw, you know? It's nice in a way. At least the telescope will assumedly be used at night time. It's helpful. I have to wait every 5 seconds. Oh, itchy arm, itchy arm, itchy arm. Itchy face, itchy face, itchy face. I woke up at a reasonable time today. Oh, right, yeah, secret channel thing. I have news. I got news last night. So, I mentioned that I was hoping over the weekend it would be sorted, and it wasn't. But as I found out yesterday, the guy who is working on it... I'm not talking to UPA yet, because it's not a priority quest. The guy who's working on it, the thing I need, has said that he'll do it this week, basically. So next Tuesday, I should get the teeth back, and it should all be ready to go. And then I have to try it again, and if it doesn't work again, God knows what I'm going to do. But if it does work, then I can spend next week recording, and hopefully the week after go online. So mid-April is my current guess. We'll see what happens. New type of telescope, Pluto. You can rent it for a small fee and watch the wonders of the night sky. Go to 513 Grzyborska Street.
Hello, sweet secret.
Sweet secret. Print out with torn corners, probably printed somewhere, pinned somewhere. 515 Grzyborska Street is the address where for a small fee you can rent the telescope. Mordecai Eisenbaum has constructed a new type of telescope which can be tested for a small fee. The perfect opportunity is tonight as a comet will appear in the sky. That was terribly voiced. So the inventor invites anyone willing to come to this apartment at 513 Grzybowska Street to observe the unusual phenomenon. Let's go. Always, I'm gonna get a telescope. If I ever get like kind of place I want to live. I suppose the problem is I always live in the city. I really want to live in the city, and there's no point having a telescope in the city unless you're a pervert, basically. Because why? What are you gonna do in the city? Like I think it was last night. It might have been the night before because I've got no sense of time. I think it was last night. Here in the UK, at least, and maybe all of Western Europe. I don't know to what extent it goes. Let me do this first. Thanks to Eisenbaum's invention, the comet was at arm's length. I wonder if it was a harbinger of good fortune or imminent disaster. There's Eisenbaum. Oh, you don't get to see the comet, though. That's cool, though. New telescope. Next. Oh, I have to hide this every time. Game of Karom. Find clues related to the note. What have aristocrats done this time? Could it be related to a scandal in high society? Anyways. I was meant to be a... Have I been here before? Let me just go check this one. The Northern Lights were meant to be, like, super visible yesterday in the UK. Usually you can see them in the UK, but usually you have to be at like the very north of Northern Ireland, or you have to be at the very tip of Scotland, something like that. But I can't remember why, but due to some weather conditions, it was meant to be visible across most of the UK. The further north you are, and I'm relatively far north. About 2 hours from the border. But unfortunately, it was super duper cloudy, so I couldn't see a bloody thing, basically. And also, whilst I don't live in a major city, we live near a decent-sized town, so even that is enough light pollution that you can't really see what's going on. I'm always at war with myself, because I really like living in big city. Like, my dream place to live is like a penthouse apartment in a major city, you know? That's what makes me happy. I want a balcony that overlooks a city. That's the kind of thing I like. But I also like nature and living in the middle of nowhere and being able to see the sky properly and all that kind of jazz, so you can't really have both. I just have to have two houses, basically. It's very easy when I can't afford one. Note, Mr. R cancelled the reservation for 6 p.m.
Well, there we have it.
Information for an employee written on a piece of paper with the name of the bar, La Fourchette, embossed on it. The ink is still a bit damp, so the note must have been written recently. Apparently a reservation for a table or surface at 6 p.m. had just been cancelled. Game of Karom. In the bar La Fourchette, you can duel with sticks and balls during a game of Karom. Tonight, a reservation has been cancelled, so it's a good opportunity to try the game. Cool. Oh, something else here. Somewhere. Lost button. Smaller made of brass. The worn-out button fell into a puddle. It was once sewn to a coat, manifesting the memory of the uprising in direct defiance of the Russians. Years later, it found a home on a new coat. This one. However, though gifted by grandchildren in good faith, is only a poor copy of the beloved former outfit. I'm not clicking that anymore. I click that every fight. Am I waiting? What's Karom billiards?
What a day.
I mean, I know what billiards are, but what's Karom? Googling it, I'm curious. Oh, Luke, go away. Sorry, let's check something. I'm Googling. Where's my phone? Where's my browser? I can't find my browser. Karom. Karom. A cannon. A cannon in billiards or pool. So how would you play Karom billiards, though? Like, how is it a different version of billiards? Is that just the full name of billiards? Carom billiards, also called French billiards, and sometimes carambole billiards. Object of the game score points by caroming one zone cue ball off both the opponent's cue ball and the object ball of a single shot. Ah, okay. So it is different. So the way I read it is that basically you both have, let's say you're playing billiards, you both got a white ball, and then you've got the ball you're trying to pot. It's about focusing on the cannoning aspect. So I think what you do is you bounce, well, you hit and rebound your white ball into your opponent's white ball into the red ball you're trying to pocket. We might see it here. Only chance for a gentleman to hit something with a stick without embarrassment. I mean, just looks like pool to me, or snooker, whichever. But I think there is a subtle difference. Next about art, to meet Przemyślki. Oh, this is the guy who goes to the pastry shop. The patisserie. That we heard about. Click, 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 click. Oh, hello. Something here. Pigeons need to have full bellies too. Oh, that's sweet. Newspaper article then and now. Though that for a poet there is but one way, in the heart to seek inspiration and pursue God. In this spirit, Master Mikovic spoke a lot, defining the poet's aspirations and goals. Today, times have changed. Some chatter, inspiration fueled by beer, pursuit of a good dinner and some cheer. This poem can readily be used to describe the famous writer Zenon Przemyślki. Recently, almost every day, you can meet him in some cafe or restaurant. Luckily, the pursuit of satiating his appetite does not seem to completely obscure his desire to discuss art. It is enough to merely start him on the subject to be drawn into a conversation that lasts for hours.
Am I a magician or what?
Article in Spikes magazine. A satirical magazine opened on the page with a pamphlet about a well-known writer. According to the authors, Zenon Przemyślki has recently been known to frequent cafes and restaurants. If encouraged, he's prone to engage in lengthy discussions. Oh, I didn't mean to. I don't know what just happened. You know there's no pigeons there, right? I just want to clarify you're aware of this. A little bit crazy. I thought she was being sweet, but there's no pigeons. So, takes on a slightly different tone. Everything's the afternoon, man. Nothing happens in daytime in this city. I guess afternoon is still daytime. Afternoon needs a better name. It means more like directly afternoon. After noon. You know what I mean? Oh, it is the same patisserie. See here? Hello! What is art? The master of souls, liberating them from the shackles of flesh. A portal between a person and the absolute. There he is. Must be a good life being a poet. Just roam around, go to cafes all day, write poems. You'd have to be good at writing poems, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go get a massage in the afternoon. I've never been one for poetry, really. I've written one poem in the last... Oh, it's right here. Sandy. Oh, no. Oh, God damn it. Blessed Torture, that's all I saw. I'm getting a massage from this kindly-looking gentleman. Sorry, I keep skipping things by accident. Drop in for a meeting at night at 4 Pavlovsk Street. An evening with cigars. Let's go do it. And it's nighttime, which is helpful. Yeah, I wrote a poem to my ex about 5 or 6 years ago. I think that's the last time I wrote a poem, and also the first time since like high school. It was good. It was good. It was all right. I mean, I'm a decent writer, but it doesn't really apply to poetry. It must be said. I think poetry, I mean, I think all writing, all good writing involves you bearing your soul to an extent and being willing to open yourself up to embarrassment and, you know, exposing inner demons when you're in the turmoil and whatever the hell else you've got going on. But I think poetry in particular requires that of you. The smell of tobacco has evoked the memories of my father. I think he used the same brand. You know, it's a night of chilling with the boys. Some cognac maybe and some cigars. Just dudes to being dudes, you know. Find out what foul plans the gang has. Hoop rolling. Such notes don't bode well. I think I've stumbled onto the trail of a gang of rascals. Oh no. You understand I have to do all these missions. Like, it's impossible for me to not do all these missions. But yeah, I think you have to be willing to open yourself up and bare your soul a little bit more for poetry than you do for regular writing. I think if you're writing a full-on novel, it will reflect who you are as a person anyway, emotionally. It'll reflect your states at different points of writing and stuff like that. Whereas I think because poems are so short, obviously, typically anyway, you have to be willing to get that across very, very quickly. It's kind of a different goal, I suppose. Whereas with a novel, you're writing 90,000 words. You can't really escape it coming out over time. You know, it's just bleeding into your writing inadvertently. Watchman's report. On September 3rd, after numerous complaints from residents of the apartment building, I decided to chase away the boys playing and hoop rolling in the courtyard. This made them angry, and for the next hour, they stood under the windows and took turns yelling. When their throats became sore, they announced the next day they would return, and if they were banned from playing, they would protest in similar fashion. Well, why are you trying to ban them? Document written on a sheet of paper slightly swirled with ash. In the courtyard of one of the tenement houses, a group of boys likes to play hoop rolling. Well, what's wrong with playing hoop rolling? Reminds me of our school banned British Bulldogs. For good reason, to be fair. British Bulldogs was a fairly brutal game where basically you just charge in each other and try to hurt each other. Writing on the wall, gang, Wednesday at 5.
Hello.
You're not very intelligent,
Sweet
gang, are
secret.
you? Message scrawled in chalk, a group is meeting on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. I guess if you didn't have phones, it would be a lot harder to, like, hide messages to each other like this. Hoop rolling. In the courtyard of the tenement house at 5A MORANA Street, almost every afternoon, a group of boys play hoop rolling, to despair of the tenants of nearby apartments. It seems the boys are having fun, eager to let new players join in. Yeah, I'm gonna go join in. I don't see what's wrong with what they're doing. People get, I don't know, people just don't like seeing other people have fun. I vow to never be, like, this grumpy old person. Like, I saw a thing the other day on Twitter or Reddit, I can't remember which, and someone lived in a HOA, which isn't really a thing here in... let me do this first. I could write that rolling a wheel arduously on cobblestones is a perfect metaphor for life. Sisyphus's hoop rolling. Instead, I'll just admit I had a lot of fun. Yeah, they're having a great time. I mean, I don't know why, it looks awful, but, you know, you had to make do back then, didn't you? Right, next. Drop in for dinner. Oh, this is the piano guy. What was I talking about? Oh no, I've forgotten. I really have forgotten. What was I talking about? Something cool, I bet. Oh, yes. So someone lived in a HOA, which is a homeowners association, which is just a horrible concept and shouldn't exist. It just lets people control your property in awful ways, and I'm really glad it's not really a thing over here. And someone had posted a note up on a tree outside there. They had a tree in their, like, side garden alongside their house, but clearly this garden faced onto the street. So they posted a note saying, "Dear the person who complained," or whatever it was, "thank you so much for complaining about the tree house that my children liked to use in the summer. I assure you that they're now safely locked away inside the house watching TV." Basically, the HOA had complained about this tree house that this dad had built with his 2 kids, so we had to tear down the tree house because they didn't like to look at it, or they didn't like to hear the children having fun, or something. I don't know. Just people are hateful. They say that with music, we can express what we're unable to say with words. Sadly, all I could express was my lack of talent. Still, it felt nice to play even a simple waltz on Litz's piano. I can play Frere Jacques, and that is about the extent of my piano playing these days. Oh, but you know, tell you what, I thought we had loads more. We've kind of flown through these. Just 2 ones left. Yeah. Da, 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 da. And when I say I can play Frere Jacques, I mean the single note at a time version. So it's do 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 do. Do 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 do. That's Frere Jacques. Frere Jacques, dormez-vous. Had a lot of pizza, How about you? We're very nearly leveling up, which is exciting. This is actually just a viewpoint. Hello?
There's one taken.
No, it's not.
What?
Bullshit, magician. Don't throw your weight around, or we'll take you to people who'll burn you at the stake.
I heard they're gathering wood already.
Take it back and maybe I let you live.
Look at him. That's what I'm talking about. Harassing good people, Satan's spawn.
Driver, stay here. This won't take long.
I think we just maxed out our pride. Who the heck do you guys think you are? Look at your health totals, they're rubbish. Upia or Jin for that one. Well, just attack with. Well, we haven't really used Jin yet. Let's try him out. I want to use lifelong, inflicts damage. No, it's just health. I don't care about health. Inflicts lots of damage and casts payback on me. Receive 5 damage in the last round of the state's duration. Okay, let's do that. And while that's going on, I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to punch this guy. That might kill him, yeah. But then why do I want the state? Oh, no, it's not on me. It's on him, not me. No, it's on me, not him. Hope dope. Let's see Jin do his thing. Oh. Oh. Down he goes. What benefit did I just get? So it's got an infinity symbol on it. Increase the damage. Increase damage from salutors next attack. Okay. So I've now got payback. So I get 5 damage in the last round. So we could put that on the enemy, but it's only 5 damage. It doesn't really seem like a big deal. I'm just going to keep punching this guy. Now, in theory, can I do this? Oh my god, look at the damage. Oh, of course, 50%. Okay, right, I'm going to do this. Over here. Ow. God, that really hurt. Jin hits like a truck. Oh. I just took 6 damage. I'm not sure why. Why 6? That confuses me. I need like a quick attack. Upia, you got me? Nope. Who do I want to use for just like straight up? Ah, there we go. 2 to 6. That's the best I've got. Might be a kill. Nice. Who do these kids think they are? Trying to take my carriage. I'm surprised it took this long for us to max out our... I mean, I'm assuming Pride is maxed out anyway, given what just happened. Rare Book Lovers Club, held by A. Baluki, invites everyone to meet at... whatever. Oh, wait. Oh, I want to read that one. To Praga. Praga. Prago. Bagabuki. And so forth in that kind of manner. Hello. Brute force is pushing the windbag as clumsy fingers slip off the keys, yet there is an odd charm to the lack of finesse that seems to harmonise with the nostalgic side of Warsaw. Wasn't wearing a hat though. Okay, we can also now level up our finishing argument. May as well stick an ability on that as well. Sure.
Where do you think you're going, know-it-all?
Why do people keep trying to beat me up?
Out! We're running a business here.
It's you. What do you know? Please, please help me. I only ask these kind gentlemen for directions.
To Albuquerque, is that right?
Are you done? Look at them goddamn bigwigs. You're not gonna make fools out of us, you clown. There is no such thing as Albuquerque.
Albuquerque!
Shut your mouth. We can forget the whole thing if you drop your wallet. You can chip in too since you popped up.
And with that, you signed your own death warrant.
Please be careful.
You think you can mess with Praga folk? Get him!
Every area thinks they're the toughest guys around. We used to have this growing up. I grew up in Penwitham. And next to Penwitham was Lostock Hall. And even though there's no real reason for it whatsoever, the people at Penwitham were at war with the ones from Lostock Hall. And if we went to Lostock Hall, on several occasions when we did go to Lostock Hall, and we'd go to Lostock Hall and we would get into fights because we were from Penwitham. And if you think about it, that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Oh, Lelik is going to burn through this guy in no time. Okay, well, that's him out. Reduced damage taken. Reduced damage taken. Okay, I'm just going to punch this guy in the head. Oh no, I should have used suffering because I forgot, but the damage taken doesn't seem to be affected by that. So I can concuss. I'm actually not going to kill him. Close all enemies focused by one. Meh. Suffering on everyone. Bloody debt on everyone. This should kill him and put suffering on the other two. Ow. God, -3 focus. Jesus. So they still take a lot of damage. I don't really know how this works. Upia or with Jin or Bukovac. So you can... I'll old wound you, and you are going to come over here and howl. I'm curious what the level 3 for this one is. So level 1 applies it to one person. Level 2 casts it on another enemy. Maybe the level 3 just casts it on everyone. That would make sense. Upia, my friend. Oh, Jin? Do a lot of damage. Yeah. Especially at the end of the fight, Jin seems really strong. Because, I mean, I don't think the negative's a big deal anyway, because you can always pass it on to someone else, as we've talked about. But, especially at the end of the fight, where there's no time for the negative to hurt you, he hits like an absolute truck.
I must say, this was the best combat I've seen so far. They didn't fight like that in the Albuquerque saloon.
Anytime.
Thank you again for your help. Walter Pinkman.
Wiktor Szulski. I don't want to worry you, but Warsaw is not on the way to Albuquerque.
It depends on how you look at it. If it wasn't for you, my journey would have ended here. Thank you again, Mr. Szulski.
I like him. He's not wrong. It does depend on... It's a matter of perception at the end of the day. If you've come from further east in Europe, Warsaw could feasibly be on the way to Albuquerque. It doesn't feel like he's maybe coming from that perspective, but it is true. Lovely jubbly. Right, so I think we just annoyingly picked up another one. We did. But once we've done that, we can then do a couple of these couple of side quests. I don't know what to do about Taylor's Dilemma. Just hope we stumble upon it, really, and then we're done, and we can start focusing on the main quests again in the next video. So, I will see you lovely folks then. Thank you so much for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.